pitching coach. I think he got a vendor going. Funny. That night we all sat together was the funniest. He goes, "Hey, I got this thing."
How's everybody doing tonight?
The best we can.
It's a rough one, but we're going to get through it together. Hey, welcome everybody. I brought a couple old Philly pals with us tonight. How about it? Dickie Knowles and Chris Wheeler.
Thank you.
Not the old part, right?
I got the old part, like you said. I can get away with it because I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you, Buffalo Wild Wings, Glen Mills. Thank you, Courtney. Management already left, so we can get away with murder. So we can get away with just about anything. So, real quick, we got some great raffle prizes over there by the ATM machine. You get 2 free raffle tickets. You can buy all the extras you want at $1 a piece. They go to the CCC charity. As always, donate some great stuff in the community. So, Henry, Henry, Emily, welcome. Neither one of them had voices because they were at the game last night.
I want raffle tickets.
Yeah, me too.
I want raffle tickets.
You want to be Mullen's jersey, don't you?
I just like it.
Yeah, whatever. $20. Yeah, I will go.
So anyway, hey, great night. Welcome to the Mattis family over there. Big continue. We got them all.
Got them all here.
Got them all. Thank you. Thank you. Who else? Stephanie, welcome. Even though you're a Bama fan. I'm not a hater, but you're after being outside tonight by Penn State. So we are.
That's Steve.
I know.
Everybody knows you're
That's
a good
why I got that email.
Thank you.
Got to be happy with our guests. Welcome everybody. Thanks for coming out with this stage view. We're here once a month for the next couple of months. I was told we're still auditioning, so we'll see how that goes. So, questions, comments, Laura's going to have the microphone. Hit her up. The boys want to talk to anybody that wants to talk Phillies. Last night's embarrassing loss. What else? I don't know. My man Kevin, I thought you were done at like 5 o'clock. He's past 5 o'clock.
He saw all those raffles and said, "I'm staying."
All right, again. Our guest, Dickie Knowles, 1980 World Series champ. Who was out for one of those games? Come on.
3 of them?
Oh, game 3?
Oh, you were 3.
You're trying to make us feel old.
There you go.
You're old.
And Chris Wheeler, you still remember him dancing in the seat, right? 2008? Huh?
I'm ready to do it again last night. Something bad one.
I know you were, and I thought we were talking about it tonight. And we got other things to talk about. Unfortunately, not good things.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Johnny, what do you got over there?
All right, well, this is Philadelphia, so whose head's got to roll? No, I'm kidding. But, yeah, that was a tough one. That was definitely a tough game yesterday. And I don't know, I think they kind of lost it in game 3 myself. Game 3 and game 4 there in Arizona kind of turned the tides. And I don't know if you guys felt the same way when you were seeing it.
Well, you kick them in the teeth with a 10-0 game.
Right.
And then they have to go home and think about it all the way out. And instead of sulking and pouting, they sent that kid Fudd out there, and he was terrific. And I think it rejuvenated him when the starting pitcher gave that kind of an effort.
Yeah, no, he had a really good out in there.
Also, you got game 6 and 7 at
At
home.
home.
And I think no one thought that we were going to lose one of those games. I just can't believe that you come to Philadelphia with that type of atmosphere and that crowd that we would even lose one of them.
Right.
That's two. So really, you got to tip your cap to the Diamondbacks, but it's kind of odd that an 84-win team with a run differential that they have, not that I know what that really is, Will, but anyway, I mean, kind of see a team in the World Series.
Yeah, it was tough. That's for sure. It was definitely unexpected. You know, we were, like I said, we were coming here hoping to have a fun festival, kicking off the World Series talk, and you know, unfortunately, it's not that way.
Well, they asked me to go to Texas, and I said, I got an event I'm going to, so I blew off Texas to be here.
Oh, there you go. There you go. We appreciate that.
Dickie is still an executive with the club.
Being a former pitcher, and you played in Texas, you got ties. What do you think Lavella's message to this team was being down 2-0?
You know, if you watch the series, they were not running. They were not aggressive. To me, and I talked to Wills about this, some of their pitchers looked scared. So I thought this was going to be a 4-win sweep and let's get on to the World Series. But all of a sudden, they started to get some confidence and they started to roll a little bit. They started to run the bases again. And that second baseman was hitting. And then you look up and a game-winning home run that you didn't think was going to happen. And all of a sudden now, you got a 2-2 tie. So when we won game 5 and came home, I thought there's no way this team's going to go through. But the way the Diamondbacks played in our stadium, they had excellent pitching. And I think it started with the game, the 6-game starter. I think he set the tone for the rest of the series. And when
Merle
Kelly, you know, to me, he pitched careful but aggressive. He used the sinker away, used his breaking ball. And then if you look at the last game, that bullpen came in and went right after our guys. And they did a heck of a job.
I think last night, too, unfortunately, the fans got to see who Corbin Carroll is. Corbin Carroll's a Rookie of the Year, unanimous Rookie of the Year. And they had shut him down a little bit. He wasn't running. He wasn't getting on base. And all of a sudden, last night, he made contact in a couple of huge spots with a couple outs and ran the bases, and it changed everything.
Yeah, but he looked scared. You know, he run the bases earlier when he was getting on base.
You know what I'd like to know? I've heard it, but I'm not sure. And if it's true, shame on the analytics. I heard in the very beginning through a baseball guy, scout, that the analytics told the Diamondbacks not to run because you got the Phillies are aware of it. They're teaching their guys a sidestep. You got the best throwing catcher in baseball. But if that's the case, shame on them because they ran us to death in the last game. And JT couldn't even get off his feet to throw to second. They were getting such big jumps.
Exactly. Yeah. Carl and I have a debate every day, endlessly. You know, with analytics, it's really, I don't know. I think it's throwing into the game, you know, and changing the game dramatically. That it's there, and even Lavella was saying, you know, we pay all these analytic guys all this money, and if I go against them, I'm getting fired. You know, so it's like, how much do these managers actually get to say in what they want to do?
Well, you know, one thing I noticed, and Dickie, I'm sure he did too, it took 20 minutes to announce all the support people before the game. It used to be you had a couple trainers, you had equipment guys, then you went to the coaches. Well, there had to be 15 people up there before they got to the coaches. I said, who are all these people?
Did
What
you
do they
see
do?
our team picture? All the people that's in the picture on the field?
Yes.
Did you see the Arizona Diamondbacks team picture? They didn't have nothing but players. We had like 90 people.
Well, I know it's nice to include everybody. You know, haven't been in that area, and you know, it's nice. But I couldn't believe that the first playoff game I went to in Miami, and it took that long to announce all of it. Like, I guess, and they had all these titles. I was thinking of John Vukovic, what his reaction would have been if he's Book.
Oh,
If he
gosh, I
saw all
thought you
that.
said food. Oh,
Yeah, if
Lord.
Johnny saw all that stuff going on before the game, it wouldn't have been good.
Stocker said that on the air the other night. Stocker said something about the analytics, and Stocker said our analytic guy was John Vukovic. I was cracking up.
That's right. Right. He used to do the meetings, go over with the pitchers and catchers and the players. And he had his little book where he'd write everything down. There was no computer printouts. Hey, look, you can't stick your head in the ground. Every sport is different nowadays, but it does kind of drive you nuts, this analytics stuff. I agree.
Yeah.
The only analytic guy we had was Chris Wheeler up in his booth.
That's because Boot let me look at all the scouting reports.
You gotta keep it in control. Yeah, it's I don't know, it's just tough because it's almost like you're managing to cover your own ass, like and not be paid. The analytics told me to do it, so that's why.
Well, not being there anymore. I'm careful what I say. But you hear this thing where they bring lineups now, where they tell the manager who has to play with some teams. I don't know that happens with Rob Thompson, and I don't even want to go there with it because I don't know.
Right.
But you hear that it does happen in some places, and it's wrong.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's tough. I don't know. It just changed the game a lot. You got too many. Even like yesterday, we kind of joked about it. I mean, Suarez could have been out there in the second inning if Carroll got up again and Bowman hit the home run, right? To tie the game up, and then you want to speed up the game, but then you're going to have 18 pitching changes in the game, and that doesn't speed up the game.
Remember in your era, Dickie, can you remember talking about a bullpen game at the beginning? Bullpen game was when the starter got KO'd early. Then it was a bullpen game.
We had one bullpen game in Lefty's career when I was there. One. That's the only one I remember. He got knocked out before the third.
Yeah, that didn't happen often.
No, exactly. Yeah. It's I mean, even Gallen, was it Gallen or no, Kelly? No, Kelly in the 60s.
Kelly was upset.
Yeah, he was not happy. He's like, I just struck out the side, and then you're gonna pull me out of this game.
He got out the 1, 2, 3 too.
Right. Yeah. It's
different.
Ranger Suarez, if he's given the ball next year, which I think he will, and you let him go 6 or 7 innings, and you let him get ready for spring training, and hopefully Venezuela doesn't keep him there, and he can get in spring training early, and he starts the season early. Larry Bowa said he'll win 15 to 20 games, and I believe that.
right. Oh yeah.
I mean, he's going to be a guy that can eat innings up.
Yeah. I mean, he's got the major league record, right there, best ERA in the postseason with the 0.94 coming into yesterday's game.
Tell you what else he does that he helps. He may be one of the best fielding pitchers.
Oh yeah.
And he's cool about it.
Yeah.
He's really good.
Wills, when he was 18 and 19, he was getting ground balls back and throwing it the same way. Everybody goes, why does he do that? He's done it since he put a uniform on. That's just Ranger.
Right. Yeah. He just smooth. It's crazy. Some people panic when they happen, and he just.
How about the other night when the first inning was Sanchez when he forgets the outs?
Yeah.
He
Exactly.
can't do that stuff. I know he hasn't had that much experience in a game like that, but you're in the first inning and then it gave him a run.
Yeah,
He forgot
yeah,
the outs.
yeah.
You only get 27 of them. They're precious.
Walker did that last night as well. He got a walk, and he lost track of the count.
Yeah.
I mean, game 7, and you're just.
I think he was probably happy to get a walk
Yeah.
because they were eating it.
Wasn't
He's
switching
a
very well.
good player. Boy. He's a great first baseman. He can hit, but they were eating him alive with high fastball.
I tell you what, when you look at the faces of the Diamondbacks, I keep going back. Walker looked defeated. Every at bat he looked defeated. Beginning of it, Corbin Carroll looked stunned a little bit and like he wouldn't run. Their pitching staff looked like they were a little bit timid and didn't want to throw strikes. And yet we're talking about a team right now that beat us and won the World Series. It seems crazy.
The guy that kept their head above water all the time offensively was Marte. He was really good, the second baseman.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Switch hitter.
Yeah.
He put it in play. He rarely struck out, and he can run. So even if they hit him 1 or 2, 1 he could steal, 2 he could move, run, he could do some things.
3, he played second base.
And he played a good second base.
I'll ask the question again. You're touring the valley, you're down 2-0, you're going home for 3 games. What was the damn message that got these guys fired up and changed the whole chemistry of the series?
Play your game. I would imagine he said, do what you did to get here. That's the way I'm going to manage. Play your game. Play your individual game. Play team baseball. But play the way you got here. That'd be my guess.
That and one backup catcher.
I was
One backup catcher.
going
One backup catcher said that we're going to celebrate in that pool.
Not a good idea.
No, exactly. And
Bad at the time. I don't like it.
unfortunately now they celebrated on our field.
Yeah.
We didn't have a pool, but they celebrated in
They
our
stuck a flag out.
Right,
in center field.
exactly.
Zach Allen sent something out today telling fans, hey, there's a lot of tickets available. Here's your spring training schedule next year.
Yeah, I mean, who would have thought we're sitting here today after the series is over? You win three out of the 4 games with Gallen and Kelly pitching, and you would say we lost the series.
Right.
Nobody would have thought that.
Hey, Zach Allen may pick it up too against the Rangers. He's good.
Right.
He's really good. He didn't need to send that thing out today. To me, that was beneath a guy of his talent. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. No. Exactly. Yeah. It's a little bittersweet, I guess. Kind of rub.
The other thing we're missing is they played the game the right way.
Yeah.
Arizona bunted, Arizona got runners over, Arizona got 2 out hits.
And statistically, all year, they were one of the best defensive teams in baseball.
Yeah.
They don't make mistakes.
Yeah, and then they played it because they weren't the power hitting lineup that the Phillies had, but they took advantage of what they needed to do.
They didn't have great arms in the outfield, but did they ever throw the wrong base?
Right. No, exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Kept the
their
double
outfield
play in
options
order.
are-
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, but they threw it in the right spot. So
Look,
he even almost got stopped at third base on that one.
you win 4 out of 5 and 2 straight here. They deserve to be in the World Series.
Absolutely. Yeah. Great.
All right, we got some new customers that have walked in, and we're this fans for you. We're here once a month. Our guest tonight, Dickie Knowles, 1980 World Series champ. Chris Wheeler. How many years you worked with the Phillies?
Well, I started in 71. I was a broadcaster for 37, so I haven't had a real job for most of my life. Been pretty nice.
Good for you.
I got to know so many great friends and so many fans you get to know and everything. And this guy to my left, one of my all-time favorites. Well, you talk about a guy that wasn't scared. He wasn't scared. Dickie Ray Knowles, give him the ball. He may get his tail whipped, but he wasn't scared doing it.
Well, I will tell the story about him and
George Brett. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
what are you doing these days, Dickie? Besides playing a lot of golf.
I don't play as much golf as you think I do, but I wish I could play golf every day. But I'm employee assistant director of the Phillies, which means I direct myself. But I got a wonderful boss now that I'm training to take my role. But I've been doing that for 31 years after my play working for the Phillies, 28 of them as an employee assistant guy. Some of the best years I had were before that as a community relations person. Really enjoyed that.
And Chris, what are you doing these days?
I'm retired and love it. I spent a lot of time in Clearwater. I was lucky enough to buy a place in Clearwater in an area called Bel Air, right next to Bel Air Country Club. Dickie knows it really well. 36 holes, great courses. So I'm down there from January to July. And now I'm back here and enjoying myself. But I went back down to Florida last 2 weeks ago and I slipped running in my car like a dope and tore a muscle in my quad. So that's why I look like Walter Brennan here today.
All right. Questions, comments? Lauren has the microphone out there. We'll take just about anything tonight related to the Phillies or sports or golf.
Both of them are pretty golf worthy.
Well, I play a lot of golf too until I hurt myself. It's a little hard right now.
There you go. We have another wheels in the house, so there's 2. So I'm sure he's got a question that's looming in the back of his head, because I know he's as disgruntled a Phillies fan as there is. So what do you got, Wheels? Come on. Come on.
Putting them on the spot.
Come on.
Let's start with Vicky. You run us through the 1980s season, highs and lows, and what actually led up to that pitch to George Brett?
1980 season, there was a lot of highs and lows for us as a team. We had some pretty good teams in that division. We had Montreal, probably an all-star team in itself. We had Pittsburgh that won the World Series in 1979. And we fought with those guys a lot. So a lot of the up and downs we had that year were just trying to battle those two clubs. We had some other ups and downs that kind of famous for September. I don't know if I can really share that. We had the Paul Owens tirade in San Francisco. Gary Maddox was playing center field. A couple fly balls dropped out there in the sun. And we boarded the plane from San Diego to go home. We weren't playing very well. And we go home, not home, we go up to San Francisco. And Paul Owens had this unbelievable rant. I think he got all the superstars. He didn't go after none of those young guys. But he got Bull, he got Maddox, he got Smith, he got Boa. And after that, we really played good baseball after that. We really called fire. And we went to Montreal, and we only won the pennant by one game. By the way, I won one game in 1980, so you never know how much you're playing counts. We won by one game. But, we end up clinching there, and then we get in the playoffs, and if you recall, many of you do, many of you don't, we played the greatest championship series ever. We went up and down against Houston for 5 games. The last 4 were extra inning games. And we got to game 5, and Nolan Ryan's beating us 5-2 after 7. And he put him on the scoreboard there. He was like 117-2 and leading after 7 innings. So we're living, guys in the dugout, we're kind of like, well, I'm going fishing over here. They didn't do that. But Pete Rose started that comeback. Pete started telling our bench guys, let's go, we can win this. And I remember he looked at Larry Boa and said, Boa, you get on, we'll win this game. And Boa hit a little flare on the shortstop, got on. Booney was up next. He said, Booney, if you get on, we'll win this game. Now, these guys are out. We had a heck of a series. If you ain't never seen it, just go watch it. I mean, we're outside the dugout. And Rose is talking to him. And so Boone goes up and he hits him. Not a ball. I don't know if he broke his bat, but it wasn't hit real well. It was hit right back to Ryan. Ryan threw so hard he wasn't a great fielder. Kind of got between his legs and rolled in. I think it might have been Booney's only infield in. So we had first and second. Gigi comes up with the greatest run ever. Bunts one down the third base line. I looked up. We got bases loaded, no outs. Off the great Nolan Ryan. Now Rose is up. And he goes up there and he works a 3-2 count, fouling balls on. I thought he was going to kill Rose in the dugout. He was so late. He was in line drive right above our dugout. And he got the 3-2, and Ryan missed it with one about that far outside. And Rose flipped his bat back. And I always wondered what he did. He ran out towards the pitcher's mound. Yeah. And I don't know if this is true or not, but later on, Pete's a interesting guy. He says, I told him to scare, get a dog, and went to first base. And Ryan was really angry, so I don't know what he really told him. But all I know is Burton took Ryan out. And boom, he came back, man, he hit a triple. They had the audacity to come back and try to tie the game up 6-6. We won it 7-6. So we had a lot of adversity that year. It kind of called us the team that never quit. The team that wouldn't die is what they kind of called us. And then before I let Will's comment on that, because he knows more about the 80 than I probably did, because I was a 23-year-old wild little young man then. 1980, knockdown pitch to George Brett in the World Series. We won the first 2 games. We went to Kansas City. They won the first game in Kansas City in extra innings. Now we're playing game 4. The interesting thing about game 4 was Larry Christensen, dad was ill. And he was really didn't know if he was going to lead in the passing, right? Larry Christensen went out there in the first inning, probably with a heavy heart, got some balls on. Kansas City was a dead dumb good team. So they're hitting balls all over the park, out of the park, running all over the place. So I had about 7 warm-up pitches, and they called down and said, you ready? I said, yep. I want to pitch in the World Series, so I'm in the game. So I come in the game, and the kind of pitcher I was, I struck the first out with 3 pitches, walked the next one on 4. Kind of like my career. So I got the bases loaded after an infield hit. Get Willie Wilson out at first, go out for the second inning. Willie Mays Aikens hit one off me so far that I turned around to watch it. So I don't see Willie standing at home plate. Now they do that baseball all over, but it wasn't allowed then. So I hear Pete Rose goes, Willie, you better run. So I turned around, and he's still standing there. So I hollered at him, and the crowd, Kansas City crowd got loud. And I hollered at him, you better run, Willie. I don't know if he heard me or not, but he started jogging. So I start pitching pretty good. I come back to the bench. If you guys in baseball want to know how they tell you to hit somebody, it's not your manager. It's Bob Wall, it's Tug McGraw, it's Marty Meister. When you walk by him on the bench, you're going, when are you going to knock somebody down? I think you're going to make somebody leave their feet. So I kept hearing that inning after inning. And I told Tug sat down beside me, and Tug said, are you going to knock somebody down? I said, this inning. I said, Tug, I wanted to pitch a few innings. He said, who is it going to be? I said, I ain't knocking nobody down. I'm going to drill with him and Jake. Tug said, show me, I'm from Missouri. He got up off the way. I said, cute, Tug, watch. So I go out there and I get Brett 0-2. And I remember in the minor leagues, Dallas Green said, why wait if you want to flip somebody? I said, well, I'll just flip him and drill the next time. Because we could do it. So I played a pitch right where I wanted to. And I'm not saying back then, and we don't see it now, but when we want to flip a guy, we put it right here. And Dallas told us to do that. They want to stand in there and get hit. Too bad. Don't flip. And I flipped it. And then Pete Rose took over there again, just like he did in playoff game. He ran the home plate, told Jim Fry, get off the field. And Jim Fry said, he's throwing at him. And Rose said, he ain't throwing at him. And Fry goes, how do you know? He goes, if he's throwing at him, it hit him. So that's 1980 knockdown.
Oh, yeah.
Reels, you good?
I don't know what to add to that. It was one thing after that was they didn't hit a ball hard, it seemed like.
I
After
know.
that, the whole series turned around after Dickey did that.
You know, I'm glad with my people saying that pitch meant something. But when you got Maestro, it was hot. Was Maestro not hot? Maestro was really throwing well. He beat him. And then you got Lefty coming back, who had been through the 77, 78, and 76, collapses of what happened during that time. No one was going to beat Lefty that night.
Yeah, we won the game on Sunday. Kind of like the other day, where you lose the 2, and then you win the 5th one, then you come back and you got 6 and 7 at home. And boy, as you said, Lefty was pitching that night, and Mike was hot, Schmitty was hot in that series, MVP and all that. But Dickie Ray Knowles will live forever in Philly's lore, the way he flipped George Brett that night, and they were not the same team. Now, granted, the poor guy had hemorrhoids at the time,
Yep.
but that was well publicized. But they were different. They just were.
I'll end this with this last comment. I think they might have been a little different. I don't give myself a little credit for that because I know we were going to win without that. But I did that because that's the team we played. That was my role. You know that. My SRC's role was let the starting pitcher stay in there. When we come in, we'll take care of that. We have done that against Pittsburgh. But the funny thing about it was when I have Kansas City players telling me in golf tournaments, you took my ring, then maybe it did mean something.
Oh, it did. It did.
You tell me it looks good in my hand.
Yeah, these rings you could wear.
Yeah.
Rings I got now, holy cow.
That's for sure. They're a little different now.
Hey, we've got a little game we call trivia. So you guys pay attention to a couple of questions. Raise your hands. We're going to give away some Buffalo Wild Wings gift cards, courtesy to fine people here in Glen Mills. So Lauren's in control out there, so you want to play nice. Johnny, what do you got?
All right. I went with playoff baseball trivia for Phillies.
Funny, real funny.
Well, I was hoping before this all came up before the game last night. So who has the most postseason wins for the Phillies all time?
Postseason wins. There's Blair. Blair's got his arm up.
I'm just going to go with Carl.
Carl, did you say?
Yes.
Incorrect.
Mike Schmidt.
It's not Mike Schmidt.
Schmidt.
Oh, Hamilton is correct.
Oh, hell.
Very good.
We did that one in honor of Emily. You heard her call Hamilton.
Can you speak up? I believe we can't hear you.
I think she said thanks.
Girl. Poor girl. You didn't even get a win out of it. You lost your voice.
Yeah.
All right, Johnny, let's try it again.
All right, here we go. Who has the most postseason home runs for the Phillies all time?
Blair, going to give it another shot.
Hey, Schwarber and Marker are tied.
They are tied with one other person. But you're good with that. I messed up the question. I wanted the answer to be Jason Ward. But
So are we honoring that?
oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, he was good. No, he's on. He's getting the award. I messed up the question. I should have said Harper and the three of them.
I love it.
Yeah, bad trivia man here.
That's our official trivia guy. You can't get that right either.
I know I can't do that.
He wants analytics more and more.
Oh, I don't want analytics more. I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you how it's ruining the game and explaining it to you so you can figure it out.
This guy is a partner. I'll let him know.
That way you can go home and explain it to Sue when you get home.
Let me tell you something Wallace said about analytics. He was up in the box with Matt Clinton. Fly ball went up the right field. Clinton turned around and said, what was the exit velocity on that? Larry Wallace said F9.
It's an out.
It's an out. Exactly.
It was a track ball, but it was an out. Who cares what the velocity was?
All right, Johnny, I'm going to give you one more chance.
Give me one more chance. All right. Let's see. Who
Please
has,
read your notes correctly.
I know. It's a little dark over here. That's what I'm gonna do. Who scored the most runs all time in the Phillies playoffs? All time runs leader.
Want to read it one more time?
Yeah, can we get that one more time?
Who scored the most runs all time in the postseason for the Phillies?
We gotta get out of here.
We got a Penn State fan.
That is correct.
What?
Good guess.
We are. That's all right. You're trying to enjoy dinner and we're up here rolling.
Yeah, exactly. Do one more because it'll lead into some talking
Do
there.
we have another gift card? There we go.
There we go.
How about another?
All right, who pitched the most innings for the Phillies all time in the playoffs?
Oh, that's good, easy.
Dickie said this is an easy one.
That's what I thought so too.
Huh? No. Most innings, I would have to say. Oh, yeah.
Blair, unfortunately, you won.
You already won.
So you can't win again.
Steve Carlton is correct. Yeah.
Steve Carlton.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, 77, 78,
Yeah.
76.
But it also goes back to show though how much older pitchers.
These
go
guys
through
play
innings.
so many.
Right, and
playoffs
these
now.
guys-
I was looking at one, yeah.
That's what I was trying to throw people off with the
did.
whole Hamels thinking they he pitched so many, but they don't pitch as many innings now.
Right.
You know, I mean, Carlton probably pitched 9 innings most of the games.
Every game he pitched.
You know, in the playoffs. And so yeah, it's weird how they play more games now, but they pitch less
That was
innings.
a good one. I missed that.
How did you miss that?
Because I was thinking that today they play thousands. of
Right.
games.
That was the theory behind the
I
question.
kind of X'd them out.
All right, boys, we got a little game we call the baddest minute. So Warren can't wait.
Buckle in.
All right, guys, so I have 10 questions. We just want you to answer with the first thing that comes to your mind, but if you have a story about it, we want to hear that too, so feel free. So the first one, if you were starting a baseball team tomorrow, who in their prime would you choose as manager? Dallas Green, Charlie Mangle, or Rob Thompson?
I'm going to go with Dallas Green because I have to.
Okay, Chris?
Boy, that's hard. You know, Dickie has a great point about Dallas because Dallas was the right man at the right time because he had all these guys in the minor leagues back that time as a farm director. So when they were act up back in those days, you could do something about it. So I think that combination, where you were able to do things and having them in the minor leagues, I'd go with D too.
Which do you prefer most? Italian food, Chinese food, or burgers and dogs?
Italian.
Wow. I love burgers, but I ain't supposed to eat them and dogs, but I like Chinese food and my favorite food's Mexican food and barbecue food, but right there, I would probably go Italian with Chris too.
You can tell Dickie likes barbecue because with his accent, he's not from Boston.
I married an Italian, so she cooked pretty good, but we're not gonna talk about her tonight.
No, no,
I can't believe I did that.
I was hoping that wouldn't come up.
How many Taylor Swift concerts have you attended?
I'm going to, because I promised my granddaughter I would, and I missed getting tickets from her, but you know what? I'm gonna go be her chauffeur and bodyguard, but I'll tell you what. That's all I say about that too.
I'll have to go zero with none in sight.
Zero to.
What a great
I'm going to.
performer, though. Wow.
If you're not watching baseball, what is your favorite sport to watch?
For me, that's easy. Penn State football. I love college football. It's my second favorite, and golf would be my third, believe it or not. I love to watch golf. No, I like the Eagles and the Sixers, the Flyers, and all that. You said favorites to watch? College football and golf after baseball.
Ditto. Absolutely ditto.
What channel's that on?
Golf?
Ditto.
What was your favorite ballpark and city to visit on a road trip?
My favorite one to visit is never gonna change. I love Fenway Park and I love Wrigley Field.
My favorite city was always San Francisco because it was such a cool town to go to. Worst ballpark in the world when you played at Candlestick. Oh, it was horrible. But then when they moved to one downtown, the combination of the city and the ballpark, that was my favorite.
Who do you think was the greatest baseball player you ever saw play, teammate or non-teammate?
That we saw play. Go ahead.
Willie Mays.
You got to see him play.
I saw Willie Mays playing. I saw Mays and Aaron play in their prime, so
Well,
I was really lucky.
I can't say Aaron because I was a kid in high school watching him play, so I didn't get to see him play. So I'm going to probably say, and I really think he was much more talented than his career turned out, but Mike Smith was a pretty good pick. I would have to say Michael Jackson.
There you go.
Do you still refer to the Cleveland team as the Indians?
I still call them the Cleveland Indians because I played for the Cleveland Indians.
I'm glad I'm not a broadcaster because it would be hard to call them the Guardians.
Yeah.
Which movie collection would you pick to watch? Rocky, The Godfather, or Star Wars?
What was the third one? What was the third one?
Star Wars.
Rocky.
Godfather.
Which team have you watched the most of, in person or on TV, over the past 3 years? Eagles, Sixers, or Flyers?
Eagles.
You know, it's funny. I don't go out and to games anymore, so that's really hard when they Penn State football the most I've been, and that wasn't one of the.
Or on TV?
Well, I would say the Eagles.
And last one, are you more of a dog person or a cat person?
Dog.
That's Sammy. Dog.
Maybe a dog.
All right, and that's last minute.
Good job.
There you go.
Let's give it up for Bill Madison. He got a pile of rings in front of him. And a cold butter, too. Good job, Mr. Madison. For anybody who doesn't know, Bill's works with a lot of professional athletes, past, present, future. He works with Dickie as well. Where do you fall? Past, present, future?
All of the above.
All of the above? All right. But Bill's, he's on our team and we appreciate everything he does. And this Madison Minute has, they now do t-shirts. So if you're looking for a Madison Minute t-shirt, are they on Etsy yet? Where are they available? Facebook. Okay. So how are sales going? Not good? All right, well, we'll try to pump that up. All right, I think that young man either wants wings or a neck, one or the other. I'm not sure. I think he wants wings. So,
What kind of t-shirts, Bill? What kind of t-shirts?
I'm just here for the Mattis Minute.
You got
You guys are teammates too, so see?
it. Amen, yeah.
There you go. All right, real quick. Raffle prizes, are we moving tickets? Do we need to go out on Route 1 and hawk some people? Hey, if we got anybody in the restaurant, come on up. We got some free raffle tickets, 2 to everybody, and if you'd like to buy some, they're $1 a piece. We got some great prizes tonight.
Awesome prizes.
I saw the Michael Jack Schmidt up there. That's pretty sweet. I also saw a Larry Boa stat jersey. Pretty sweet stuff. So come on up. You're going to have a shot at it. Our great sponsor, City Distilling, has donated a fine basket full of some great beverages. So kudos to them. Charles, what basket did you load up?
He's not paying attention.
What basket did you load up?
He's not paying attention.
He's not paying attention.
He's
embarrassed.
well, he's laying low so he doesn't get stolen.
Oh, you don't want to tell anybody. I got you. All right, I'll pick on you, Mike Schmidt. What's your feelings from last night? Where did you see the game get away?
Game 4.
Game 4?
I have a question for you. So let's say you're the general manager next year. You bring Reese back, you re-sign Noah.
What are your thoughts?
Well, to me, the whole first baseman situation depends on Harper. Harper's your first baseman, then Hoskin can't be here. If he plays the outfield, then he can do some things. My number one move may sound stupid, but I think you need a catcher. I think you need a catcher that'll catch 50, 60, 55, 60 games. Because the guy we have right now is terrific, but he's a clubhouse personality. They don't use him. So JT Realmuto, look at him. He's starting to wear out. And he still has a bunch of good years left, in my opinion. But you cannot catch a guy as much as he catches. You could DH him once in a while, but you got to bring somebody in here, whether it's in the farm system, that you trust, that is not a guy that will play every 7th or 8th day. You got to get a catcher in here that can play. I'm saying 50 to 60 games.
I thought JT was going to be the first baseman in years to come, but now that Harper is there, I don't see that happening.
Right. I
And
also,
Harper's like the general manager of the team.
my other move also, it may be unpopular, but I struggle watching the right fielder right now, because he's so hot and he's so cold. And he's more cold than he's hot. But he's got 3 years left at what we figure out, $60 million. So that's a tough thing to do. But number one thing, there's all kinds of other things. If Nola leaves, pitching, bullpen, got to get a catcher.
You got to get used to it. You know what I would do? I would sign Nolan.
Absolutely.
Because here's the reason why. You're going to sign another pitcher and give him probably the same amount of money. You don't know if that guy's going to eat the innings up. I don't know what Nola's wanting, but I'm bad it's going to be for 5 years. But, you got to look at that. They got a tough decision to make there. You really got to look at that because, to me, you want to, and I tell everybody in Philadelphia, I've seen Nola more than anybody. I've seen Nola when we first signed him. Joe Jordan was there last night. He's with the Rangers now.
Yeah.
And so Joe Jordan, our minor league director, asked me and Carlos Boyle to go watch Nola pitch. And he was a polished pitcher out of college. So I watched him, and Joe says, "What do you think?" The riding back, I said, "Don't ask me that." He goes, "What do you think?" I said, "I think he's ready." He goes, "You're crazy. We just got the guy." So we went and watched him pitch again. I said the same thing. Don't ask me. Third time we watched him, we gave up 4 runs in the first and then pitched 5 innings. And I said, "Joe, okay, he gave up 4 runs. Going to ask me the same question." And he goes, "No, I'm starting to think like you." He's a special type pitcher. But the thing about Nola is, Seaver used to say, if you got 10 games during the season that you're going to be all in, And maybe it's 5 to 10, Seaver said, but he was pretty good. And then he said, you got 10 games where you warm up in the bullpen, you think you got it, but things don't always go well. Maybe your breaking ball's not there, maybe your command's not there, and you got to battle through it. Then you got 10 games where you go, I don't know how I'm going to win tonight, you got to find a way. I think those 10 where you don't know how you're going to win tonight, you got to find a way. I think if Nola found a way to go 500 in those games, we'd appreciate him a lot more. But I think he's a great number 2 starter. So that would be my main move. And like Will said, it's all depend on Reese is where Harper decides what he wants to do.
And the thing with Nola, Dickey's right about Nola. He has no expression out there, which is beautiful. You can't tell if he's getting his butt kicked or he's pitching a 2-hitter. But the problem with free agency right now and the lack of starting pitching depth, someone's going to come in and maybe just blow you out of the water with an offer. Well, every market is trying to do what we do here, and that's bring in attractive players that the fans want to watch. Well, what do you think the Mets want to do right now? What do you think the Dodgers want to do? All the pitching problems they've had. So I just worry that I agree with Dickey. I would love to see Aaron Nola come back here, but I just wonder what his market's going to be.
Yeah, it seemed like after the post-game interviews with Nola, obviously saying the right things, that he wants to be here. He loves it here with the fans and the teammates that he has. And then Carl had mentioned before the show, there was a thing that Mr. Middleton wants to try to work something out. So I'm hoping that between the two of them, wanting to be here, that I think we're going to get a hometown discount, but I think, maybe it gets done before, he gets to that free agency mark.
If anybody's going to give you a hometown discount, just let you know, it would be Aaron Nola.
Yeah, and I think the same thing with Hoskins too, if it's available.
Hey, he's a special to me personally because Sarge and I got canned by Comcast after the 2013 season. So in 2014, the club always sends a club representative up for your draft pick. So Sarge and I went up there that night and they told us we're taking Nola. So every time I would see Nola after that, I'd say, don't embarrass me. And he's the best kid in the world. I mean, he's just so great. And he would get that great smile of his and say, I won't.
Right.
Yeah.
And he hasn't.
You're talking about improving the club from the general manager's standpoint. It's going to be hard to improve this club because it's a pretty good club. And I still cannot believe we're not in the World Series. It really is it's like a bad dream. It didn't really happen. But I would like to see somebody like a Corbin Carroll, somebody like even Gurriel, somebody that puts the ball in play in that lineup that doesn't strike out, that's pretty consistent. I think it'd make that team really, really good.
Yeah, it would really help if he could run too. Like Corbin Carroll's a great player. He just wasn't available. I mean, not available. He just wasn't Corbin Carroll in the first 6 games. Unfortunately, you saw his game last night, and it really helped it set the tone early in the game for the Diamondbacks, and I think they fed off him.
I think maybe in another off-season here, maybe Stock can turn into that player. Maybe you see the big improvement.
Stock and Ball are going to hit. I'd like to see Stock. Stock's a tough player. One thing we have to talk about is we don't have a lot of players in the minor leagues. Everybody knows that. We got some arms in the minor leagues. We got some guys that can high velocity. If you could teach them to pitch, which I think we're doing, we got some guys that are going to be very interesting coming up, and will probably be in that bullpen. Right. And you've seen Orion, but we've got a guy named Pan who's got 97. You've seen him pitch in Clearwater. So we got some arms coming up. So we're going to be okay in that bullpen.
Yeah. Just got to find a couple of pieces for the bench, type of thing, and be able to.
Hey, having a guy like Dave Dombrowski running your baseball operation,
absolutely.
He'll figure it out what he needs to do. Can he do it? I don't know, because of the economics now. But he's a baseball guy with a clue and with an owner who will spend. So that's a great combination.
Absolutely. Yeah, you've seen a complete different approach by the Phillies once Dombrowski took over.
Oh, yeah. Dombrowski's been amazing. I mean, think about Dombrowski has made this club from when we had the pandemic going on, sitting watching it on TV or hiding in the ballpark behind a rail so the Buck fans could see it. Going, oh God, they're going to the bullpen. Oh Lord. Now, I mean, in a little short period of time, so like Will said, I can't wait to see what Dombrowski's going to do because it'll be good.
Right. Yeah, I mean, just a small move like getting Soto, just little moves like that. Even Lorenzen, wasn't a good move, but it didn't completely work out.
Hey, look, every player you bring in here can't be a
Right.
star. You can't be a star. You can't pay everybody $25 million.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, Lorenzen, could be good for a little bit longer term, but it's just
Wasn't that one of the greatest nights of the season? You have Wes Wilson hitting his first major league home run after battling in the minor leagues. He's Carolina boy too. And you have a guy throwing a no-hitter that no one knew he was throwing a no-hitter until the fifth inning. It was a wonderful night.
It's my birthday.
Oh, wow.
I'll never forget it. The date that it's August 9th that he did this.
Yes, it is.
yeah, no, exactly.
Did you guys want to talk more about that night?
The night with the no-hitter and the home run?
Yeah, but specifically the gentlemen on the two sides there, because they weren't a fan of the lineup that
Well,
night.
Warren's trying to get us in trouble here because we always look at the lineups. You see all the changes and the analytics, and you get like the whole B squad, if you want to call them that, all in the same lineup at one time, and it's like it's frustrating. You just see that kind of lineup. It's almost like you're giving up that day. And it worked out. Like he hits Wesley Wilson hits the home run, and of course that's all he needed. Lorenzen needed for the game, and so we look bad at we had
No, we looked terrific. It was pathetic. And what did they do with the poor guy ever since then? I know. So you're taking a shot at us, and we're here to defend ourselves. Oh, 100%. 100%.
It worked out one time because on the river card, the ace came out when they did the analytics.
Those are rules. Put them in, tell her, put it wherever she wants.
But yeah, I mean, it's just things like that kind of get us frustrated, and it works out because analytics.
One thing you have to understand, though, with a long 162 game season, with as many games as they play,
Right.
they can't all play all the time.
Yeah.
You have to sometimes, always question, take two and hit the right and put a lineup out there that isn't, your everyday players. And the other thing is, if you want guys that contribute off your bench, they got to play once in a while. Gigi would tell you that. Greg Gross was the best at that. You got to play me once in a while. You got to give me some at bats. So that's all
We
part of it.
understand that. It's just not put all five of them in the same game. Like spread them out a little bit here and there.
Well, there's reasons why they do it, but the main reason is they got to get some guys some at bats that are on the bench if you think they can help you at all later on.
Oh yeah. You got to get the guys going. But then nobody. We didn't really use the bench in the playoffs, right?
Right.
For the most part. I mean, so it's
Well, the bench isn't important as it used to be with the DH.
with the DH, correct? Yeah. You don't need it.
All right, Dickie Knows has a question for all Phillies fans, so listen up.
I got a question for all of you fans. If you thought we were going to lose, raise your hand. See you thought we were.
Well,
She's an Alabama fan. What do you expect?
I'm going to call you half glass.
discredit that. One, she's from Southwest Philly, and two, she's an Alabama fan. So, both there's 2 zeros. Right?
I've asked this question to 100,000 fans, it seems like, the last night meeting in the park. I'll tease it, but I never thought we were going to lose, but I will say this. The Philly fans deserve a lot. I never thought we'd lose for 2 reasons. Number one, we're definitely the best club in baseball, in my opinion. We have the best manager. We have the best player. Bryce Harper is the best player. We've had some magic moments here. But the fans, I didn't think this team would be able to handle the fans. I mean, the fans came out and they showed up, and we would like to thank the fans. The fans were awesome.
Right.
Awesome.
Stephanie, why are you clapping? You were the only person who raised your hand.
You shouldn't be clapping.
It's not okay. It's not okay. Shorty, how do you do it?
You work for WIP?
Wheels, Dickie, again, incredible night on a loss. I can't imagine what it would have been like had they won and we'd have been moving on. Closing comments, thoughts? I know we talked about next year. I know I'll see you in spring training.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I'll still be there in spring training doing the PA. It's fun. I would like to echo what Dickie just said about the fans. Look, I've been here since 1971, and I know sometimes the players that we had in some other years, there would be negative energy during games, when things didn't go right. There was none of that the last 2 years. The fans have just been unbelievable for whatever reason. They love this team. It came as a surprise to them. I don't know. It was louder. And I've been in some loud crowds. It was really significant. The noise, and I think the energy level that they tried to keep, even when they were losing.
Yeah.
I think the fans this year and last year were just unbelievable.
what's your comments? And I hate throwing names out there, but I think John Middleton had a lot to do with it.
He's out there throwing balls. I saw him one time. One of the nights I was there. I said, my arm hurts just looking at him. Well, he was out there. Look, John Middleton gets it, and this team more than anything. I mean, Dickie, can you imagine those teams we had before going over the Xfinity Center and partying? They didn't want to be around the fans. This bunch wanted to be around the fans, and the fans knew it, and they gave it back.
I agree with Wills. This is a special team of characters in there. They get it. If you're talking about John Middleton throwing those balls, that bucket was about this big, $39 a ball. He can score them all. But I thought that was awesome. And you're talking about the fan of Philadelphia. You take pride in being a fan of Philadelphia. This is a team. The 2024 Phillies are going to be your team. They're going to be your world championship team. Like I said, Bryce Harper gets it. He loves being here. That's how we got Trey Turner here. And I wouldn't be surprised if we don't get another big signing next year. But if we don't do anything, I still think we're the best team. As long as Atlanta don't improve their pitching, I think we're going to be the best team. Atlanta's got in their head they can't get by us anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Atlanta is built for the regular season,
Right.
not for the postseason. And the Phillies have shown that the last 2 years. They just, don't have the pitching, like you said, to be able to
Robbie
do that.
Thompson wants to be built for both. Did you see his comment the other day? He
No.
wants to win a division. He wants to be a winner, and he wants to take it all the way. And I think that's the best way to go.
Have a good shot at it right out of the chute because that's who you open with. The Bravos will be here
At home.
at home.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what you got to do.
All right, again, I want to thank the fine folks here at Buffalo Wild Wings for having us. Take care of your servers, your bartender. She's one of the best. Courtney, how about a wave? She's always dancing on her own. Again, thanks to everybody. Dig into the raffle. We draw that guard about 8 o'clock.
I didn't see anything like you in those days.
About 8 o'clock. We draw the raffle thumbs up. Okay. Thanks everybody for coming out. We'll be back here next month. We don't have a date yet, but we're working on that. And again, thanks to Chris Wheeler. Thanks to Dickie Knowles.
Thank you.